Pro Wrestling Sheet reported that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were sent home from the UK tour. Now, when I had heard the title, like, originally the video was going to be talking about Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh boy, reality just delays it. And I was eventually going to talk about the new Darth Vader comic that came out last week. But when I heard this, I knew I had to talk about it because I got some feelings on this. So, I read the title that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn went home from the UK tour, and the UK tour's not over yet after SmackDown. So, I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe this was just a huge issue that was going on. Maybe Kevin Owens had another issue with home because this happened when they were in Chile, and Triple H offered to take his place and pay him the money, give him the money that he was supposed to get. Awesome. So, then, and maybe Sami Zayn went with him to support him because, well, they're best friends in real life as well. So, yeah, I was like, okay, maybe that's the reason. So, let's take a look at this article. So, okay, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were apparently sent home because Vince McMahon ordered it. They apparently went against creative directive given to them before SmackDown last night, and it was said they contributed to them getting getting sent home. Yeah. So, it was said that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, during the show on SmackDown, I watched it, were supposed to be, after Kofi Kingston had defeated Sami Zayn, they were supposed to be fed to the New Day, which in wrestling term is the heel's role during a babyface comeback where he runs at the babyface only to be repeatedly fended off with the hope that the series of bumps by the heel will generate positive fan heat for the babyface. Yeah, that doesn't work. So, after that, Owens hit the ring as soon as the match was ended and attacked Kofi as planned. However, he and Sami quickly bailed from the ring and the New Day stood there waiting. Same for the sound crew who didn't play anyone's music. The segment just ended awkwardly when the two wrestlers seemingly went off script by not taking their planned beating afterward. So, yeah. I was like, okay, maybe there was an issue or something like that. Like, there's a lot of theories you can make. Maybe one got injured and they had to cancel the segment. Well, that clearly isn't the case, since it got reported that they would have a match next week with the New Day. So, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on about this. And then more updates came in. Regarding Owens and Sami Zayn getting sent home, apparently, more sources start coming out saying the duo have become slightly difficult to work with lately and seem unhappy backstage. Yeah, okay, this, remember how I said after Jimmy Jacobs got fired for bullshit reasons that this would lead to the beginning of the mutiny I predicted? Well, it's happening. Yeah, it looks like it's happening. Like, it's also worth noting that they were both close with recently fired writer Jimmy Jacobs for petty bullshit, and Neville, who hasn't been seen since he walked out, or heard. So, he's disappeared. Jimmy Jacobs is going at Ring of Honor and Bound for Glory. He was there, actually. Just pissing off management because he has to get back at them somehow for idiocy. So, when this happened, it was stunning to hear all this. So I was thinking, like, what's happening? Like, okay, I'm not saying I support defiance and whatnot publicly. If you want to sell your issues, either deal with it backstage or walk out. And this happening just makes me think what's happening lately is only building. Like, Neville walked out because he was frustrated. Jimmy Jacobs just wanted to hang out with his friends outside because he worked with them in the independent scene. Nia Jax took some time off for apparently refusing to job to Sasha Banks on the pre-show of all places, though that hasn't been confirmed yet. I mean, like, there's been disputes on that, and she just needed a break, accordingly. So, yeah, I'm not saying I condone this, but isn't it not kind of surprised? Are we really supposed to be surprised that this is starting to happen? Because all this dissension that seems to be building in WWE, actually, especially after Emma was released. Like, I haven't never got into that because I was probably gonna rant constantly for 10 hours. But when Darren Young and Summer Rae got released, I was like, okay, Darren Young isn't doing anything. He was recovering from injury. There was nothing for him, and I don't even know what happened. So yeah, I understand him leaving. Though, of course, they had ample opportunity when he was getting big publicity when he came out of the closet, and they could have followed through with that. Summer Rae, yeah, I don't know what happened to her. She just disappeared. I mean, like, okay, Summer Rae honestly should have quit WWE 2 years ago. Not because she's bad or anything. I've seen some of her work in NXT. I think she should have quit when she was told to act pathetically cringe-inducing during that horrible love storyline with Rusev, Lana, and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I'm not letting that go. That's the worst love story I have ever seen. So, and I've seen Attack of the Clones. So, I was thinking, Summer Rae, quit. I know you're better than this. Just quit. Like, when you have to sound so cringe-inducing on the mic, that's when you know you should have left. But no, she stayed and continued on with the storyline until Rusev and Lana dare express their love for one another on social media. Yeah, I don't get that. So, yeah, yeah. But the biggest shocker was when Emma was released. I was like, really? Emma's gone? What happened? She just got off 2 matches with Asuka. Like, she was being booked strong against Asuka of all people. So, what happened? Did she request her release? Well, there are signs that indicate that might not be the case. Did WWE just get rid of her because fuck the fan mentality? I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, apparently a lot of people were confused by Emma's release, apparently. It was said that a lot of people were confused with Emma's release, and also what happened with Finn Balor and Kane. Yeah, people were wondering that too, after he just come off of a match with AJ Styles. So, yeah, I'm starting to think that with the instance with Neville and Jimmy Jacobs, I think the talent's finally starting to have enough. Like, yeah, yeah, I just feel like the talent's just starting to snap. Like, it's starting to grow and grow. And also, okay, let me see if I can find the article. I'm going on Twitter. It was on No DQ site. Yeah, I know they have a bunch of ads, but yeah, I'm able to work around it from some of the time. But I'm just worried that this might lead to further issues. Like, WWE's saying that they went into business for themselves, and I'm like, okay, I don't think they would do that. Like, maybe they, like, I'm not saying they could have done that. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, because there have been wrestlers who broke the rule and, you know, not gotten in trouble to an extent. You know, like, certain people in the company, like John Cena, who was supposed to take a fall to Lesnar, but decided to conduct a promo. So, yeah, so, apparently during the tour, Owens was allegedly complaining on a tour bus after the show, which was said to be the last straw. So, yeah, and Ryan Satin said that this is not a work, people. So, yeah, Owens saying that this might be the last straw might be hinting, I'm like, no idea if he completely said it, but yeah, he seems to be hinting that Owens, Sami Zayn might be leaving soon if things start to get worse and worse. Like, yeah, I could get Owens getting pissed off because his run as Universal Champion sucked. He was doing nothing on SmackDown as US Champion, then was given creative botchness with after he went to SmackDown with AJ Styles. In fact, AJ Styles, I believe, said he didn't like his matches with Owens, thought they could have done better. But yeah, and then after Hell in a Cell, after he beat the crap out of Vince, and after Hell in a Cell, you would think they'd be moving on to bigger and better things. No, not really. Like, Kevin Owens is still the same. Sami Zayn was still the same, just a heel. Like, granted, Sami Zayn's work is awesome, but yeah, like, but why would Sami Zayn be mad? He's been left off TV. After his feud with Braun Strowman, he was doing nothing for months. And then when he got to SmackDown, he was hopefully going to get all these big opportunities. Never happened. Then turned heel. And remember how I said that maybe I had a feeling that something wasn't right about this heel turn? I had said in the video that if you combine Sami's time in the independent scene and add in WWE time, he never turned heel. Until Hell in a Cell, he had never turned heel ever in his career. So, yeah. He never turned heel in the Indies. He was going to stay... I'm pretty sure he wanted to stay as a face. But WWE was like, we got to turn you heel. Like, what? You think we're going to put Kevin Owens on a heel road? On a face road? That's never going to work, even though it clearly worked in the independent scene. So, yeah, I get a feeling those unhappy those creative issues that have been happening to them, the loss of Neville and the fired Jimmy Jacobs and Emma getting released, especially after work she was starting to do and starting to gain momentum, and then after what happened after TLC with Kane and regarding Kane beating the hell out of Finn Balor for some messed up reason. Like, I get they're trying to build him up to be beaten by Braun Strowman, but couldn't he have done anyone else that doesn't have a big future ahead of them by the booking community? And also, apparently, Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor is off the table. Yeah, fuck this. So, yeah, there's a lot, and that in the disease that was spreading for a couple of weeks. No idea how that's going. Roman Reigns is scheduled to come back. Bo Dallas is back. And I don't know about JoJo. I kind of forgot about her. Bray Wyatt is scheduled to come back probably after Survivor Series, but he has been cleared. So, I'm thinking, is all this starting to show that there is a huge problem going on? This is all building up to something, and if WWE doesn't try to mend the situation, it's going to implode on itself? Because WWE is doing a crappy job trying to fix it. And considering... And especially how Owens has been screwed by the triumvirate of WWE, was basically being called fat by Dunn because every time he points at the camera with a fan holding a sign saying Fat Owens fat because he's fat. Get it? He's fat. That's the joke. And I'm like, Dunn, that's not really funny. That's kind of pathetic. So, yeah, especially since wrestlers reportedly are trying to get out of WWE, and they're contacting Cody, they're contacting Austin Aries, asking, "How did you get out?" Oh, and Austin Aries says that the reason why he was let go was because they didn't have nothing for him, so they just said, "Okay, we're getting rid of you." Shouldn't that count to like 90% of your roster then? So, yeah, there's a lot of build up here. Like I said on Twitter, the mutiny is coming. The mutiny has begun. I had a feeling the mutiny is about to start. So, and I actually gave WWE the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the mutiny doesn't start till 2018. Scratch that. They screwed it up after a month. So, if Owens and Sami Zayn leave, I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, that's going to be big. Like, Neville leaving was big. Jimmy Jacobs getting fired was bullshit. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens leaving, that's going to be bad. And Cody Rhodes, I know this is a little off topic, but Cody Rhodes also wanted out. And he said in an interview that he wanted to punch someone in the face in the creative department. Okay, I granted, everyone believes that would be awesome, but it would be probably illegal without their consent, like the Bret Hart Vince McMahon issue. And even then, I don't think that fixed anything. So, yeah, this is not looking good. Like, I'm not saying Owens and Sami Zayn aren't in the right, but I'm not saying WWE's in the right either, because, like, I know they're taking disciplinary action, but yeah, with all this stuff going on with the huge divide between roster and management, it's hard to find a middle ground here. So, yeah, I get the feeling this is getting worse. This is going to get worse before it even gets better. With WWE starting to re-rely on the old era stars, and also Daniel Bryan's I don't give a shit attitude. Yeah, that's been going on for a year. In fact, I'm surprised that he hasn't even... I'm surprised that it took so long to cancel Talking Smack after that incident. So, yeah, like I said, I had a feeling this mutiny was starting to spill. I got the feeling this mutiny was going to happen, and now it's starting to spill on TV, probably. Like, some people still say this might be a work, which would make sense to me. But considering this is the same company that suspended a guy just for grabbing Vince's arm by accident because he wanted Stephanie McMahon to go first because he's trying to be a gentleman, because ladies first. Yeah, yeah, I get the feeling this is gonna get worse. Like, Triple H will try to mend the situation, but let's be honest, that's probably not gonna work. Like, he has no power on the main roster, except maybe a few things, but outside of the main roster, he has full control. He can do whatever he please. NXT, the UK show, the Cruiserweight Classic, the Mae Young Classic, those are all his. What happens on the main roster, he has no control over it. Like, maybe he'll show up and come up with ideas, but they'll get shot down by Vince and done. John Cena's on part-time duty, so he doesn't have much of a role in it. Also, he's coming back for Survivor Series, so yeah, that makes no sense to me. I'll talk about that when I get to the build-up video next week. So, those were my thoughts on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens being let go from the UK tour. This was Near Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.